Hi, folks, and here we are at week 3 of our social marketing class. We're about halfway through the class, and I hope you're starting to see some of the trends and the thoughts that are going on with this. This week, you've got a couple of things. You've got some nice readings. We review, and I use the word review instead of read, some of the more popular social media sites that have been out there. We look at Facebook and Twitter, and we talk about blogging. And the interesting thing to me is that blogging was something that just got so very hot back about 2010. Everybody had to have a blog, and sites like WordPress just totally blew up. And then within a year, the blogs just almost completely went away. There was a guy in my industry, in fact, a competitor, who started up a blog, and I thought, wow, what an incredible tool he's putting out. He did 2 blog posts and then has not posted anything since, or even promoted it out there in his social media now. So it kind of ties back to my point about how fast all this changes. What is very hot and very in today, by tomorrow is gone, and people have moved on to the next thing. I referred to that in the last video when I talked about Facebook, Twitter, etc. being replaced by things like Snapchat and Instagram. So you're going to see that today in the readings this week. You're going to look at some of those things. I want to point out the overall theme of this week, and that's social media strategy, both in the readings and in the assignments you have to do. The opening reading makes a very good point about fire, ready, aim versus ready, aim, fire, and knowing where you want to go. It's very important in any marketing campaign to understand what you want to achieve, but nothing more so is in social media. If you put out a print ad or a radio ad or a TV ad, you might get lucky and get a few people that will look at it one way and go, oh, I get the point, and others that won't. But in social media, because it's still new, because there are only certain generations that are really plugged into social medias, from pretty much the Gen Ys through the millennials on, the question becomes, what do you want it to do? That should be put in 72-point type and taped up across the front of everyone's desk every time they start thinking about using social medias. What do you want it to do? What do you want it to achieve? After you've done all of this work to put all this together and hire people and do everything and set up a Facebook page and a Twitter page and a website, at the end of the day, what do you want it to do? That's the real question. And you get to tie that in with your assignment today. It gives you the guidelines of doing a Mother's Day promotion and attracting people. And that's well and good. Those are goals. But that's not what you wanted to achieve at the end of the day. I mentioned in the last video that there were different organizations. For for-profit companies, like a restaurant or any of the others we've been looking at, their goal is to make money. The goal is to sell something. You've got to make a profit. It's not just enough to make money as far as selling, but then you've also got to turn a profit, otherwise you won't be in business at the end of the day. So if you were to boil the what do you want it to do question down for any kind of businesses, you have to sell something and make money, which is your profit. So that's what you've got to look at in your assignment. In your database, you've got a question, and I'll expand. In your discussion question, there's a question in there, and I'll expand on that a little bit more in there as well. So not too hard a week this week, I don't think. I'm looking forward to seeing your replies for your restaurant promotion. It's always kind of fun now to be in charge, and you are in charge of the promotion. You are now the marketing manager. You are now the head person in charge, and you get to make it all work this week. So I'm anxious to see what you do and what you want. This would be a good time to throw some examples in. You've probably seen some promotions out there. I'm sure you can go out on the web and look at some of the larger restaurants and see what they're doing, particularly in the restaurant that you've been following so far in the class. So looking forward to seeing what you write about this week and how you promote it and what creative, fun ideas that you might come up with. Because this is a class and you're not being judged by your peers, please feel free to hang it out there. Do anything crazy you want to do. I'm going to be looking for creativity in this, as well as tying it into the social media. So have a great week this week, all, and I will talk to you on the boards. Bye.